Why did Boeing leave Chicago? First, let's clarify the timeline. Boeing actually moved its headquarters to Chicago in 2001. Before that, it had been based in Seattle. Chicago was chosen as a neutral corporate hub, centrally located, strong airport access, global connectivity, and a major financial center. Then, in 2022, Boeing announced it was moving its headquarters again, this time from Chicago to Arlington, Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C. So why leave Chicago? According to Boeing's official statements, the move was about proximity, specifically proximity to federal policymakers, regulators, and defense stakeholders. Boeing is not just a commercial airplane manufacturer, it is one of the largest defense contractors in the world. A significant portion of its revenue comes from U.S. government contracts, military aircraft, space systems, and national security programs. Being physically close to the Pentagon, Capitol Hill, and federal agencies gives executives easier access to key decision makers. In other words, this was less about Chicago's business climate and more about aligning headquarters leadership with where a major part of their business oversight and revenue flows from. Now, that doesn't mean cost and taxes are irrelevant. Virginia offers a competitive corporate tax environment, and the DC metro area has become a major corporate hub for companies tied to defense and government contracting. But Boeing's messaging consistently emphasized strategic alignment, not tax escape. It's also important to understand that Boeing's Chicago headquarters was relatively small. The move did not involve large manufacturing plants. It involved executive offices. Boeing's production facilities remain in places like Washington State, South Carolina, Missouri, and other states tied directly to aerospace manufacturing. So what does this say about Illinois? In Boeing's case, it says less about Illinois losing manufacturing strength and more about Boeing shifting its executive focus toward government relations and defense integration. The company had already moved its commercial airplane headquarters back to the Seattle area before leaving Chicago entirely. Chicago was serving as more of a corporate administrative center. The symbolic impact, however, was significant. Boeing is one of the largest aerospace companies in the world. When a Fortune 100 company leaves a city, it creates headlines. It can shape perceptions about competitiveness, even if the number of jobs directly affected is relatively small. In simple terms, Boeing left Chicago primarily to be closer to federal defense operations and policymakers in Washington, D.C., not because it was pulling manufacturing out of Illinois. The bigger story is about corporate geography in the 21st century. Headquarters are increasingly located where strategic influence, regulation, and talent align, not necessarily where factories are.